I am. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that I would try and that you can start out with, and then we can figure out how to go from there. I think what we'll have to do is use interlibrary loan a lot. I'm not even on here. I'm trying to get it to blink, make this an interactive video. So you can obviously look through the library catalogs of a bunch of different libraries, but it would get annoying really fast. And just to get a feel for what's out there, we can go to a specific database called worldcat. So in the databases, and this is mostly a boring librarian tool that only gets trotted out from time to time. So it's a little bit of a creaky old interface, but it's worthwhile looking at. So under the databases, oh, by the way, Women's Magazine Archive has advertising incorporated, and it goes back through that era that you were talking about. So it might be worthwhile taking a peek at that one just for serendipity. But worldcat, it's one word. Worldcat first search is the one you want. This is kind of a union catalog of many of the libraries in the United States. And you could do searches for specific titles like, I don't know if you have to put it in quotes or not. Let's see what results we get. Saturday Evening Post. This is something that we used to have in print, and many libraries had in print. But then it kind of fell by the wayside as storage became a premium and people would digitize stuff and then they would just weed their collections. So we can see if somebody's got a print version still, and then we could borrow it from interlibrary loan. My favorite history of communication librarian does this all the time. So it knows who we are, and it'll say, oh, we've got it. But what you can do is you can see, if you wanted to click on any of these, if you wanted to go to serials, that narrows it down to periodicals. And you could see that there's different cataloging records for it. So this is one that's microform, for example. It seems weird that there'd be different formats for different catalog records, but for what it's worth, there might be some nuanced slight difference. And since this is aggregating all these different libraries, it's going to have, like, instead of bringing all the records together, it might have smaller ones. I don't know how this works. But the inconsistency between libraries makes us have several records for it. But if you wanted to go in and see University of Utah, well, what do we have? So we can click on this, and we can see it's a database, ProQuest. So it might be just HTML databases. But you can go through. I'm going to click and just open it up in a new tab. And let's see what that is. I'm guessing it's just the HTML text. I'm going to do a search for Tom. This is weird. I'm not sure I'm in the right place. Yeah, no, this Geological Society of America. Your results may vary. For what it's worth, if you found a confirmation that something existed at the University of Utah, you can always go to the library homepage and do a search and see what shows up. I think my goal for this, though, would be to see who's got the print version and who's got the microform version. So we can confirm that somebody does have that. And then you could go to interlibrary loan with that microform information, and you could make a request for the microfilm. That would probably be the easiest transportable version, and it would come quicker than a big bound volume of a single year of the Saturday Evening Post, which was a larger format, heavy thing. So that is my first suggestion for cruising around, is looking through and seeing if you can find different ideas for that. Let me take a quick little peek, though. I bet this is just to the electronic version. Cruise around, and I'll look at these things too and see if I can track something down. But your job is to see if you can find microfilm at our library or other places, and then we can start there. And then if you want to move on to the print ones, we can go from there.